Welcome to the Unleash Your Power podcast. I'm your host, Anastasia Jones, creativity mentor, author, and limiting belief gladiator. My purpose is to help you transcend fear, take bold, aligned action, and co-create the life and business of your wildest dreams. The world needs your art now more than ever. And if you're ready to embody the creative force within you, then you're in the right place. Now is the time to make your mark. Now is the time to unleash your power. Welcome back, my loves. I am so happy you're here. My intention for today is to share with you more about my creative journey and share some I'm going to keep that in there. Share some soul lessons that I have learned along the way. My journey has been nothing short of miraculous, just full of moments that span the entire spectrum of emotions. I have had moments where I felt so excited to start something new, moments where I have doubted every single decision I made. I've had moments where I have experienced people who were very close to me at the time tell me that I was crazy, ask me what I was doing, flat out tell me not to do it. And I've also watched as my business has grown beyond my wildest dreams, and as it just continues to expand and evolve and touch the lives of so many people. And I've seen how my dreams have taken on a whole legacy of its own. I mean, it is one of my favorite things about this human experience has been my journey from having a blog to creating a 6+ figure brand and counting. So that's what I want to do today. For this very first episode, it's you and me. Cozy up to your seat, get a drink, and let's dive in. Let's chat. So, okay, where should we begin? I have for you 6, I'm going to call them milestones, moments in my story that are kind of the big pivotal moments. And also, like I said, some lessons along the way that really just expanded my perception and helped me, collapse time and achieve the things that I wanted to achieve even faster. So milestone number 1, okay, you may not know this about me, but I started my very first blog. This was even before I was in corporate America. I started my very first blog when I was interning at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. one summer, the summer of 2011. And I had through this miraculous experience, been accepted into a very small cohort of students from around the world to intern for the Department of Defense. And I was selected to intern as a program analyst. I even signed a contract that I can't talk about certain things. I received interim security level clearance. I would go to the Pentagon every single day for work. And it was like such a cool experience. I loved it so much. I loved that summer in Washington, D.C. And during that summer, I started a blog called My City Steps, which I have been unable to find this blog. I haven't even found it. It's been years and I think it's gone. So maybe one day I'll find it. But that's when I officially started blogging. And I want to then fast forward to another major milestone, which is I start working in corporate America. This is right after grad school. I just earned my MBA and I launched into my corporate career, climbing the corporate ladder. And I knew enough to know that, you start at an entry-level position and you climb. And so, by golly, my entry-level position was an administrative assistant at this healthcare IT company. We were government contractors, and I was an administrative assistant to 3 executives, all very different personalities. And it was my job to also maintain the office. And I took my job so seriously. I came up with a motto for my job. It was, my job is to put out the small fires. I put out the small fires. And what is a small fire, you might ask? Well, a small fire would be like no printer and someone can't print an important document, no paper in the printer. That to me is a small fire. They come to me, they're like, the printer's out of paper, that kind of thing. So not only was my task to put out these small fires, but prevent them from starting. That's how I treated my role. I made sure that the printers were always packed with paper. I had ink backlogged so that, we never ran out of ink. I would replace the paper and the ink before it was even run out. And that's just one example. I took my job very seriously. It was just one way that I served the company, and I knew the importance of my role. Right. And so along the way, I started having these experiences as a young Black woman in corporate America. And, there were things that no one really could prepare me for. As much as I'd like to say my college, my university should have prepared me for these situations, I just don't know if that's the case. I didn't have a mentor at the time that looked like me. And so there were some nuanced things that I just had to navigate on my own. And it got to the point where I said, there's got to be a way that I can share these things that I'm learning with the masses, okay, with the world. At least get them out of my head and into, online. And so I was like, I'm going to start a blog. And at that point, blogging had been around for a while, but no one I knew was doing it. It was still relatively new in that regard. And I just did it. I worked like 80 hours a week. I was always on call with my job because I at this point, I had been promoted from an administrative assistant to a client advocate, and I got a $30,000 pay raise, like just 10 months into being at the organization and doing my admin office manager role. 10 months later, I get this massive, massive promotion. I'm climbing the ladder, doing the things, get inspired to start this blog. And I'm, deep into the YouTube university. I'm watching, YouTube videos every night till midnight. Like I get home at 7 and then I just watch YouTube videos till the wee hours. Learning how to build a blog. I bought a camera. I would take headshots for myself in my room. I would download all the digital downloads. I was listening to anything and everything I could get my hands on, podcasts, like all the things, trying to figure out how to blog. And I did it. I started my own blog and I would write about anything and everything. I was like, I could just write about career, but I'm going to see what happens if I write about anything on my mind and heart. And so I did. And over time, I noticed repetition in the theme around career and calling. And these were the things that I discovered my soul was the most passionate about writing. So I went in full send, and I started getting feedback from people just around the country, around the world, saying things to me like, I read your blog and I took your advice on how to ask for a raise and I got a raise. Or they said, I read your post about how to host your own meeting in corporate America, how to run a meeting. And I printed it off for my class and I taught it to my entire class. Like it was just so valuable. And like those are the things that I didn't learn in college that I wish I would have. I wish somebody would have taught me how to do this. Not only in corporate America was I, one of very few women of color, I was also the youngest person running these meetings by easily 20, 25 years. So there were just a lot of the dynamics that I had to work through and shared on my blog that really supported other people. And I'm telling you, when I published my first blog post, I thought my mom would read it, and that was it. Like I didn't know. Every time I would get an email or a comment or a like, it was truly mind-blowing. Like I I just remember still being in awe of like, this is reaching people. And so fast forward a little ways, I have my blog, I'm writing consistently, and one day I go to the office and I'm holding a meeting like I typically do. And as I'm standing there, I'm looking around the room and I think to myself, just this one very simple thought that shifted the entire trajectory of my life. And the thought was this: I don't want to be like anyone in this room. I remember thinking it. I mean, it still stays with me. I'm like, I don't want anyone's life here. I don't want to be like anyone in this room. And that was enough for me to just make immediate changes in my life. I quit my job, a very high paying job at, I don't even know how old I was at this point, 24, 25. I quit my job. I ended a relationship. I moved back to where I had been living before in Florida, and I started over. And I made about 3 decisions and started over. My life started over. And so I don't know where you are right now. And if you're like, I need to make a change, I need something to change about my human experience because this ain't it. I don't want what is happening right now. I want something new. I want something better. Oftentimes, it only takes a few very bold decisions to radically change your life. And that's what I chose to do. And all the while, my blog was growing. And over time, I was asked to speak on blogging. I had friends reaching out to me asking to set up coffee dates. I can't tell you how many coffee dates I went on. So how did you do this blog thing? Oh my gosh, I've been loving seeing your content. This story you wrote resonated with me in such a powerful way. And all of this feedback, I was like, it would probably make sense to just write it all down. Like to write down my journey. Just create a book. So I wrote an ebook. And I published it on Amazon Kindle, and it is still available today. I will link it in the show notes for you. It's called Blog Like a Boss, Next Level Blogging on Any Platform, and written by me, Anastasia Jones. And that ebook established me as an expert in a way that just my blog did not. When I published that ebook, more emails, more speaking opportunities, and something that I didn't expect to happen, clients started coming to me and saying, hey, I read your book. Can you help me do this? Like, can you get in the weeds with me and help me figure out how to start a blog? I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to figure out how to blog. And so I was like, yeah, sure. So I took my journey, my story, and I condensed it into a 4, maybe 5-week course all about how to blog like a boss. And I created my signature method called Blog Like a Boss for starting and growing a blog from scratch. And ladies and gentlemen, this was the first time that I made money online. I did this for one friend for free, ironed out my process. And after that, more women kept coming to me. $500. I would bump it up to $750. Then I bumped it up to $1,000. Then I just kept going. And it was truly, I didn't realize that I could make that kind of money sharing my story, my expertise, my creative outlet, and helping people create one for themselves. So, that was just another milestone. I believe that's number 3. And so after milestone number 4 is creating the course Blog Like a Boss with my signature method, I realized that as I unleashed my power, I unconsciously gave other people permission to unleash theirs. It was like, oh, Stasia did it. I can do it. And I loved that. And I realized it was more about helping people blog and start a website and that kind of thing. It was more than that. It was about helping women find their voice and helping women search through their stories and find clues that guide them toward what their deep calling and purpose actually is. And then helping them show up in the world in the fullness of their glory and embrace who they're always created to be and to do something that lit them up from the inside out and share their creativity with the world. Like, I realized it was so much more than, okay, publish this post here. This is how you write it. It was about, who do you want to become? Who are you divinely empowered to be? How can you show up in the world in the fullest expression of that power and shock yourself, shock everyone? So a byproduct of that deep work was, women were getting brand deals, speaking engagements, writing books of their own, and becoming leaders in these spaces and growing their social media following and getting these incredible opportunities just poof in their inbox almost overnight. I kid you not, like, as we're working together, these things are happening. So the shift and the transformation was immediate, and it seeped into like every aspect of their lives, positively impacting multiple areas of their lives. So that happened. And I decided, wow, this is like a thing. This could really work. And another milestone for me was just launching into the unknown and deciding to go all in on this vision for my life. And I began hosting more and more workshops. I began creating more and more masterclasses, designing 4, 5, 6-week courses on blogging, finding your voice, leveraging your life story and expertise, creating an online presence, an online business, how to, increase your income every month using these skills and gifts and talents that come so naturally to you. What I like to call how to monetize your genius. I decided to go all in on this vision where I leaned into my desire to speak and motivate the masses to overcome fear and take bold, aligned action. I, decided to go all in on the version of myself that writes and publishes books and on how to reignite your creativity, how to tap into your intuition, and how to live your one precious life the most bold and authentically. That's what I decided to do. I was like, let me just go all in on being a mentor to millions and embodying the leader and the woman I've always desired to become. And the beautiful thing is that through my personal and business experiences, I've come to realize that my success is entirely divinely wrapped up in the success of the people that I serve, to your success, and vice versa, right? We need each other. And it is the most beautiful thing to witness you shine. So my desire in all that I say and do is to just always be a mirror, be an example of what is possible for you, and reassure you that you have all that you need to define what success looks like for you and go after it in only a way that you can. And so now, almost 7 years later, I'm on the other side of a lot of my goals. Being a full-time coach, speaker, and author. And the most exciting part is I've directly supported hundreds, if not thousands of women through my content. And yes, even some men as they have explored and, fully embraced the vision that they have for their lives. My brand has truly taken me all over the world. It has gifted me with the most gorgeous, soul-illuminating experiences, the deepest conversations. I mean, things that I can't even put into words. And this blog, this business, through it, I've experienced these supreme moments of destiny. supreme moments of destiny. And all of it, every single bit of it, started from this simple curiosity. I mean, it's so funny. I think about what made me press publish on that first, what even made me think of starting a blog. And it all started with, I think I want to share these stories with people to help people. I want to create the content that I needed when I was younger. And so that simple curiosity and simple intention has turned into this vehicle for like growth, expansion, and freedom and excitement and joy. It's my divine obsession. And it's transformed my life and left this beautiful legacy. And it keeps going. It keeps going. So I published my second book, and this book is called Unleash Your Power. It's a 21-day guided journal to reignite your creativity that is available to purchase on Amazon. It's a physical copy. This book is gorgeous. It is beautiful. And I have loved just reading all of your emails and messages to me saying how this book has truly encouraged you and empowered you to take action on the goals that you have for your life, on the vision you have for your life. So check that out on Amazon. It released in June of 2022, June of this year. And I just love it so much. That's all. That is all. I am so excited to see what is next. And if you are looking for deeper support in your business, in your life, spiritual walk, if you're looking for that deep soul mentorship that will help you reach new levels of your goals and your vision for your life, then there are two ways that we can work together. Two ways that you can work directly with me in 2023. The first is a one-on-one high-level mentorship program. It's 3 months called Paradigm. And the intention for this is to help you radically shift your perception and collapse time in order to get closer and achieve the things that you desire to achieve in 2023. Right? You can do more in 3 months with bold, aligned action, consistent, bold, aligned action, and I'm going to help you do that. The second way is called the Co-Creator Mastermind, and it is a 1-year soul illuminating experience for my coaches, my industry leaders who are ready to hit their highest goals in 2023. And those two opportunities have limited spots available for 2023. So if you're listening to this, it is the best time to check out the link in the show notes for all the available offers and go ahead and register before the price increases in 2023. If you're listening to this, the price is increasing for Co-Creator Mastermind this weekend. So I hope to see you there. I love you. I believe in you, and I am so excited to witness you as you unleash your power. Hey friend, thanks for listening. I'm so happy you're here. If this episode helped you in any way, please take a screenshot, share it with a friend, post it to social media, and better yet, why don't you leave me a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening from? My desire is to activate as many creatives as possible. And if you are looking for additional support on your creative journey, you can always connect with me on Instagram at AnastasiaRJD or visit the links in the show notes. We've got free resources to reignite your creativity and soul-centered ways that we can continue to work together. I'll see you again next week. Same time, same place.